Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and of course, drop me a comment down below. One, it goes a massive way to helping out the channel, and two, I really love hearing back from you guys, whether you're just stopping by to say hello, whether you're commenting which kind of issue you managed to get up to if you're not here in the UK, which army you've really enjoyed, which faction you might want to expand on and build up and get more of and stuff like that, and go down if different options with different units and stuff like that, or maybe you just want to say which ones you kind of painted up. Yeah, entirely up to you. Really good stuff. But as I say, I love hearing it and it gives me something to look forward to. Anyway, before we jump into this issue, I just want to say, if you haven't already seen it and you're interested into the kind of more fantasy elements of Warhammer, then obviously Warhammer Age of Sigmar Spearhead magazine issue number 1 is out now. It is now into the second week of it, so you need to get, if you're going to be getting it, you need to track it down ASAP because it will be removed from sale, and then issue 2 will be out and you'll need to try and get it on back order. You probably will be able to, but for £3 here in the UK you get the Stormcast Eternals, Lord of Veritans and Griffcrow minis, and for the Skaven you get the Grey Seer and Warlock Engineer figures. Really cool. If you were going to be buying those separately, you're talking at least 40 quid, so for £3, it's an absolute steal. Whether even if you're not going to be collecting the Age of Sigmar stuff, just, you know, it's worth having to buy that, get them minis, paint them up and have a bit of fun with it. Try something different. You can go a massive way, and it's really good fun. So, you know, change how you hobby a little bit sometimes. Anywho, back onto Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k Combat Patrol issue 79 is this week's issue, and it is part 1 of 2 of our final Astra Militarum mini, and that mini is the Armoured Sentinel. So this week we just get the one frame for one sprue. Yeah, there's not really a lot to it. You can't really assemble much from this sprue. You can assemble like the hip joint of the Sentinel, and in all honesty that is about it. So obviously keep this safe. Next week we can build it all in one go and have a bit of fun with it. I must admit, it's one of the units I really do like from the Astra Militarum range. They're really quite cool, and they're really quite good fun. Obviously you will have little extra bits when you're done, so you might have like little fuel cans and stuff like that here. You can utilize those elsewhere, so you can use them as kind of like base decoration for, say, like the ordnance batteries and stuff like that if you wanted to, or the Sentinel itself. Obviously it is walking across the base, so obviously having a fuel can in its way is not the best idea, but you get my drift. You can have a little bit of fun with it, you can build it up and you can change it, and you can have a little bit of fun with these extra pieces, or you can save them for later. Entirely up to you, but pretty cool mini. So definitely worth the 20 quid that we're paying for it in total. So good stuff. Obviously, with this being issue 1 of 2, we get our build guide for the Armoured Sentinel. As I say, you're going to be using this next week, so you don't need to worry about it too much. There are some fairly small-ish pieces on here, but once you've got going, it's all very good. The one thing I will say, when you're putting it all together, you may want to just dry fit everything to make sure everything fits in the right places as and when you go, because it'll make life a lot easier for you when you kind of built everything up to make sure the positioning's correct. The alternative as well with this is not only do you have a choice with weaponry, so you can, you know, change which type of gun you're going for and stuff like that on there, you also have the added option of having either that roll cage on the top showing, or the armoured panels on there. If you're going to go for that roll cage showing, you are going to have the driver sat in there. You may want to paint that before you put that front panel on, because once you've got that front panel on, getting in to paint kind of like the detail on the legs and stuff like that of the driver, or even his torso, face and everything like that, is going to be a little bit more tricky. So you may want to do that first. Entirely up to you. If you want the simple route, which in all honesty I'm going to go for the simple route with this chappy, build it as the full armoured version. So you're going to have these panels that stick on the top around here, and do it that way. That is how I personally will be doing it, because in all honesty, I don't want the faff. I don't want the faff of painting the driver. I would rather just have him ready to go. So, yeah, make life easy. Don't make life hard for yourself unless you want to make it a bit more challenging and difficult. Then have at it. But, yeah, I'm going to be lazy and I'm just going to go with the full armoured Sentinel because it looks pretty cool. Anyway, talking of painting, we get some paint updates for a couple of our other factions, so the Eldari. For the highlights for these, you're going to be using White Scar and Administratum Grey, and then that's pretty much the minis done. So obviously you're going to be using the Administratum Grey over the black pieces, so like the guns and stuff like that. And you're going to be using White Scar over the white areas. Makes sense really, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it does alright. It does a pretty decent job. Obviously, there are things that you can do to change how your Eldari look. So for instance, for Wraith Lord's head, kind of like head, essentially. If you wanted to, you can try and put some patterning on there. Not going to lie, not going to be easy, but you can do if you wanted to. The same with the good old, I can't even remember what they're called anymore. Yeah, them units. That's for one. You can do the same there. The same with things like the good old Wild Riders and stuff like that. You can have a little bit of fun with it. You can enjoy what you're doing, and you can kind of alter it and kind of tailor it to how you want it to look. Personally, I'm going for a very, very colour scheme as this because I'm being lazy with it and I can't be bothered with the faff because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep them. Mine are already spray painted red, and I did it last year. And eventually I'll get around to actually painting them. But, you know, that's not today. So, it is what it is. But they'll look pretty good. The other good old faction we get to do is my favourite, the Leagues of Votann minis. If you're following the paint guide, you can have some really good looking black and yellow minis. I've not gone for that because I already have Ymir Conglomerate, when I can learn to get my words out correctly, which is my preferred colour scheme. However, this colour scheme is also really, really cool. There is only one thing, and one thing only, that I would change with some of the units, and that is adding more colour to the guns. So, for instance, the housing around the kind of barrels and stuff like that of the kind of rifles, I would paint it black or a different colour. Just add a little bit of a change to it. Makes a world of difference. For things like your revolvers, adding some kind of different colour silvers, or going for, I don't know, a bit of bronze or anything like that on there on certain little parts to it, like the handle for instance, can go a long way to making it look very, very different and making it kind of just altering its look in a little bit of a way that makes it a little bit more unique. But it's entirely up to you. In all honesty, when you're done though, the minis look really, really good. And yeah, you can't knock it. I mean, the Chthonian Berserkers look good. The good old Hearthkin look really, really good. So you've got some really, really good looking units out of it. And yeah, it's not too bad. Moving on from there, we get a little bit more fiction in the 41st millennium, and it is Harbingers of Blood. A little bit more of a stand-alone kind of a story. So this seems to be very, very Khorne orientated from what I've already kind of gathered from having a quick glance at it more than anything. Khorne obviously being one of the 4 Chaos gods alongside Slaanesh, Tzeentch and NURGLE. Khorne is the god of, the ones that are more a bit berserkers and very, very fighty over everything else. Whereas, NURGLE obviously very plague orientated, Slaanesh very kind of, sensual is probably the best way I can describe it. That's, not, but still slightly PG. And obviously Tzeentch is very magical, so they all have their own uniqueness to them. Khorne is obviously going to be very, very prevalent to what we get in for the last 10 issues, which of course is the World Eaters, because they all are followers of Khorne. So, pretty cool stuff. You get a little bit more on there as well, and happy, happy days. Moving on from there, we get some updates to how to utilise the Astra Militarum and their faction abilities. So, for instance, they have faction abilities such as Voice of Command, because they need some discipline in their ranks because they're only human, and humans are fallible. So, officers can utilise Voice of Command and have a little bit more of an effect over your regular soldiers with the Astra Militarum. Order tokens as well. You also have order tokens on the back page of this week's issue to kind of get going with. You can cut them out, you can print them out, you can do what you want. You can buy some of your own, entirely up to you. But it'll work very, very well. So you also get a little bit more on there as well. So you got your tutorials for the Voice of Command. So whether it's move, 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 take aim and take cover. You got your own combat patrol rules as well. So the enhancements, secondary objectives and stratagems for the Astra Militarum. So very, very handy to have when we play with the full combat patrol next week's issue. So you have your enhancements, which include the command laurels and stuff like that. You have gunnery officers and more, and you even have your secondary objectives listed here as well, and your stratagems, which are always really, really cool. Then, as I say, you've got your order tokens on here. By all means, cut them out. Personally, I would put them on some card. Make them a little bit more durable than just, paper that can tear. So, if you've got a bit of card on the back and if it makes it you'll make it more durable over time. So, definitely worth it. Other than that, that is pretty much it. So, next week, obviously, we have part 2 of our good old Armoured Sentinel. It's a pretty cool unit. So, obviously, we get, it's going to be really good. Obviously, we're going to get the paint guide, we're going to get a new scenario, and we're going to get a bit more kind of fiction from the looks of it as well with that issue. Then, finally, issue 81 and issue 82, parts 1 and 2 of our World Eaters Lord on a Juggernaut. So, obviously, another Chaos Space Marine faction within the 41st millennium. Very, very supporting Khorne. And, they are the bringers of doom and death and everything like that. And they'll see us out of this magazine's run. Happy days. Right then. That is, in all honesty, it from me. Thank you very, very much for watching. And I will see you in the next one for, obviously, issue 80 next week. And issue number 2 of good old Age of Sigmar Spearhead magazine, where we get some rat ogres. That'll be cool. But for now, thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye now.